focus on certain things, certain points of the prayer. And we're going to ponder over the meanings of what we're saying at each stage. Okay? Obviously, I'm not going to go make such a fiqhy discussion because, once again, I expect you guys to have that information already. Yeah? So the first thing we do when we pray, obviously, after you've done wudu and you have the niyyah and the shurut are in place and the conditions of prayer are in place and these things, is you say Allahu Akbar.
Allah.
Now, Allahu Akbar is a really interesting word, or an interesting construction in the Arabic language, because it literally means Allah is greater. That's what it means. Allah is greater. It's a comparative kind of construction in the Arabic language. And Allah is greater, you can put an ellipsis after that and say, than everything else that will follow. So Allah is greater than everything or anyone that could be compared to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The first thing we do therefore is when we say Allahu Akbar and we're raising our hands, it's almost as if we're putting the world behind us. We're putting the world behind us. And we're concentrating on the most important thing we could be doing on that particular day, which is glorifying Allah in the way that He's taught us to do so. And we're saying Allahu Akbar, Allah is the greatest. Or He's greater than everything, as we've discussed. After we've done that, after the dua you make, which is not one of the wajibat or one of the arkan of the salah, one of the dua you make to open up the prayer, you recite Surah Al-Fatiha. Now quickly I'm going to go through the meanings of Surah Al-Fatiha because it's very important as well. So, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen means all praise and thanks belongs to Allah, the Lord of the worlds. And we know that the word hamd is a combination of two things. It's a combination of madh and shukr. Madh in Arabic is praise, and shukr is thanks. So we're saying all praise and thanks belongs to Allah, Lord of the worlds. Rabb means master, nourisher, sustainer, maintainer. And that's why when we raise our children, we call this an Arabic tarbiyah, because we're raising them, we're nourishing them in a sense. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He nourishes to the highest degree possible. He raises us literally from being embryos in the womb up until we are adults. So Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim means the most gracious, the most merciful. Ar-Rahman is an attribute of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's a description of who He is. It's an interesting construction, and it means that Allah is the most merciful. Ar-Rahim is like the giver of mercy. Allah gives mercy. He gives mercy. So whereas Ar-Rahman talks about who Allah is, Ar-Rahim talks about what Allah does. One of them is referring to who He is, and the other one is referring to how He gives His mercy. But both of them mean mercy. And that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mu'arraf bil-rahmah. He is known by His mercy. The word rahmah itself in Arabic comes from the Arabic word rahim, which literally means the womb of the mother. Because just as the womb surrounds and encompasses and encircles the baby with mercy, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala surrounds and encircles and encompasses us with His mercy as well. So alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, Malik Yawmuddin, and it can also be said Malik Yawmuddin. Here are two qira'ats. Malik means the owner of the Day of Judgment. Malik means the king of the Day of Judgment. Both of them are correct, and they go have a chain to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ad-Din, Yawmuddin is the day of recompense, where all justice will be exacted and done. So anything that's happened to us in this life which is not necessarily pleasing to us, or is unjust, or transgressions that have taken place, it will be amended on that day. It will be fixed on that day, and you will get your justice on that day. So that's why Deen comes from the Arabic word Dan, which literally means a debt. So it's almost as if all of us are indebted to either other people or Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala Himself. And that debt will be equalized on the Day of Judgment. So we said, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, Malik Yawmuddin, Iyaka na'budu wa Iyaka nasta'in. Iyaka na'budu wa Iyaka nasta'in means you alone will worship and you alone will ask for help. And the grammatical syntactical structure here is khabar muqaddam, where you literally have an emphasis on what's being said. You alone we worship, and you alone we ask for help. Is to emphasize to what extent we are asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for help, that He and no other we worship. It's like La ilaha illallah. There is no God worthy of worship except for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim means guide us to the straight path. Guide us to the straight path. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says in the Quran, فَإِذَا سَأَلَكَ عِبَادِي عَنِّي فَإِنِّي قَرِيبٌ. If my slave asks you about me, then I'm near. أُجِيبُ دَعْوَةَ الدَّاعِ إِذَا دَعَانِ. I answer the call of the caller when he calls me. Anybody who asks Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to be guided, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says about that person, إِنَّ عَلَيْنَا لَهُدًى. That certainly for us is guidance. So if there's any human being, whether they be Muslim or non-Muslim, and they're sincere about guidance, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has taken it upon Himself to make sure that that person will be guided. He says, إِنَّ عَلَيْنَا لَهُدًى. That certainly upon us is guiding people. The only condition is that that person must want guidance, and they must seek guidance by asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for it. Which is why, as Muslims, we are asked to reiterate this particular verse of Surah Al-Fatiha at least 11 times a day when we recite Surah Al-Fatiha in the Salah. So, Sirat al-Ladina an'amta alayhim, the path of those who have been your faith. Obviously here, there's a Quranic verse where it talks about min al-nabiyyin wa siddiqeen wa shuhada wa salihin, that it tells us categories of people who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has favored, like the prophets and like the people who came, the martyrs and the ones who are truthful and the righteous ones. These are the people we want to follow. We have role models, prophets and role models. غَيْرِ الْمَغْضُوبِ عَلَيْهِمْ, not the path of those who have earned your anger. And the Prophet Muhammad he said about them, is like the Jewish people. Now obviously we're not talking about all Jewish people, and we're not talking about their ethnicity. We're talking about a clerical minority, or you can even say some people of the Jewish community who prioritize ilm over amal, who prioritize knowledge over and above action. Well, Dhalin is the Christian. Theologically, Christianity is bankrupt. It's a bankrupt theological system. How can you believe that the Father is God, the Son is God, and the Holy Spirit is God, and all three are one? This is irrational. So Allah has said about them, they don't have any knowledge, neither do their fathers about what they said. So in other words, Christianity is criticized for having a lack of rationality attached to it. So we as Muslims, it says, وَكَذَلِكَ جَعَلْنَاكُمْ أُمَّةً وَسَطًا. In Surah Al-Baqarah, it says, we have thereby made you a balanced nation. So we are meant to implement amal with ilm. We're meant to be a middle nation in the fact that we have ilm and knowledge, and we use that knowledge in order to practice our daily actions. So we already talked about Surah Al-Fatiha now. So we say, Allahu Akbar, recite Surah Al-Fatiha, and then another surah, if you're in the first surah, whatever. And then you say Allahu Akbar again. And just think about, I want to think about the actual position you're in that bowing position. And subhanAllah, that bowing position is emblematic, is symbolic of a greater kind of subordination that we are exemplifying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We are showing that we are subordinate to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's a position of humility. When we go down to our knees and we say Subhana Rabbil Azim. And the word Azim, it means the mighty one. We say glorified be the mighty one. Be the Rabb, my Lord, the mighty one. And we've already discussed what the Rabb means. The mighty one. Azim comes from the Arabic word Azm. Azm means bones. And the reason why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses this word is because bones, are solid, hard objects. So this is a befitting and appropriate word to use. Azim, like He's the mighty one. And as we are saying He's the mighty one, we are putting ourselves in a posture which indicates our weakness and our subordination and our subservience when we're bowing down. And then we come up again. Sami Allah, liman hamida. Allah can hear the one who praises Him. This is what it means. It means Allah can hear the one who praises Him. And remember, in the first position that we were in, we were praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We were saying Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. So now we're coming up, affirming the fact that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has heard this. He can hear the ones, that's us, who are praising Him. And there's different riwayas of what you can say in addition to that. رَبَّنَا لَكَ الْحَمْدُ رَبَّنَا وَلَكَ الْحَمْدُ. And there's difference. حَمْدًا كَثِيرًا طَيِّبًا. And these are just all kind of ad'iyah that you can answer. But let's say that the smallest one is رَبَّنَا لَكَ الْحَمْدُ. And to our Lord, praise belongs. And you can see here there's a theme. There is a theme of praise when we're praying. We're praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in qiyam, in ruku'ah. Yeah, and now we're praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala after we've come back from ruku'ah. So we're continuously praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on every level, in every move. And we say Allahu Akbar again. And it's almost as if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has stopped us from moving in the prayer unless we glorify Him in a certain way. Yani you're not allowed to move from one position to another position until you say something which indicates Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's majesty and glory. So we say Allahu Akbar again. But this time we bring our head down. And our head, our forehead in particular, is known to be a place of nobility for a human being. It's a place of nobility. But when we position our face and our forehead and our heads, which is the highermost part of the body, onto the lowermost part of the surrounding around us, what that does is it indicates an ultimate humility, an ultimate subservience, an ultimate humbleness, an ultimate servitude and submission. And wallahi, this is something really beautiful about the religion of Islam. That it acknowledges that human beings, by their very nature, they want to worship. You know that. They want to worship. Many studies have been done that show that human beings, intrinsically, innately, they actually want to worship. They want to worship. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given them, us as human beings, the right kind of modality for worship. The right direction to worship. Who should we worship? When should we worship? Where should we worship? And how should we worship? All of that is outlined by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through His Messenger in the Quran and the Sunnah. So we go down, we say, Subhana Rabbi al-A'la. Glory be to our Lord, the Most High. And al-A'la, there's nothing higher, it's like Akbar. There is nothing higher than the Most High. There's no one higher than the Most High, who is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we say that when we are the most low. Yeah, subhanAllah, think about this. We are the most low. We put the highest part of our bodies on the lowest part of the ground, and we are indicating, or we are testifying to the fact that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the most high. That is an amazing embodiment of Islam. And that's why we say Islam is embodied through actions, not just through words. So we say that 3 times or 5 times or 9 times, whatever it is. You can say more than 3 times, but 3 times was the Sunnah. And the Prophet told us in a hadith that the best place to make dua is in prostration. It is the best position for you to make additional dua. Any dua you want to make, you can make in your position of prostration. It's the best place, especially when you're in the prayer, because when you're in the prayer, you're on the wudu and you're facing the Qibla and you've already praised Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And so it's a beautiful time for you to make dua, any dua that you want to make in that particular position. So we've gone through a rak'ah, really, because you have julus after that. You can say, Rabbi Fili, Rabbi Fili. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive me. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive me. So now we are praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and asking for forgiveness. And then you have the tashahhud at the end of it, and the salah al-nabi, or salat al-ibrahimiyya. Yeah. And the tashahhud, التحيات لله والصلوات والطيبات. where you're literally saying, greetings to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now how does that work? And praise and salutations you're giving to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But you're in a position where you're on your knees. You're actually in julus. You're sitting down on your knees. It's almost as if you've come into the king's court. You've come into the king's court. And now you're leaving the king's court, because tashahhud can be at the second rak'ah, what we said, in the last rak'ah. So this means that you're leaving the king's court and you're giving the king, who is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, his salutations. And you're doing the salah ala nabi. And we know when you do salah ala nabi, when you send prayers and salutations to the Prophet, an angel sends that to him in his hayat al-barzakhiyah. So he knows when you do salah ala nabi. When you do salah ala nabi, when you say sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, the angel transfers this dua to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He knows that you sent this in a way that we don't know how this happens. So this is narrated upon many Sahaba, and it's Sahih Hadith. So when you're in that position, and then after you've done all your tashahhud and you've done the dua against the Masih al-Dajjal and these things, which some scholars say you have to do, then you can make dua again. If the imam is still not finished and doesn't let us to sleep, you can continue doing dua after this time. And then you do your tasleem. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. That's what you say. And there are angels on the right and left of you. And some scholars say, some of them, that when you do the first tasleem, that is what takes you out of the prayer. So when you're doing your tasleem now, you're echoing the very message of peace that Islam came with, really. And you're doing it to the angels, one on the right and one on the left. Which shows you that, subhanAllah, even now, when we are discussing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's verses, and when we are discussing Islam and the Quran and these things, the angels are around us. They come. These metaphysical creatures that are created from light, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made them, they are surrounding us when we are talking now and thinking about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Anyways guys, this is generally speaking rak'ah and what we do in the salah. I want you to remember this now, because the khushu'ah in the salah, we're going to have concentration, deep concentration. This is a reminder to myself. I'm just reminding myself here, but everyone else can benefit. When we are really cognizant and conscientious of our every move in salah, then the salah has a deeper meaning. Because the salah is the spinal cord of your spiritual journey in Islam. It's the crux, it's the centerpiece, it's the heart. If you don't have a salah, a proper salah, then the truth is, you might not have a proper Islam. Your Islam is only actualized when your salah is properly actualized. It's the second pillar of Islam. بُنِيَ الْإِسْلَامُ عَلَى خَمْسٍ. That Islam has been built upon 5 things. The shahada and then وَإِقَامُ الصَّلَاةِ, and establishing prayer. Okay?